right, y'all. So we're gonna jump right in. Today we're gonna go over the Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP for the weekly overview, um, and show you what I'm seeing. So the key level here on Bitcoin has been this 50 and EMA and MA. That's what I use here. So we have that, and you can see that that has been our key support and resistance level. So it's been holding here. And if we go back even to the last cycle, once we were above it, we held that, and we only, held that a few times until it ended up breaking. So this candle here was key to let us know that the bull market is over. So to me, this is one of the most important lines that has been being respected on the dynamic level here. And then if we zoom in, we could see that this is our first red weekly candle after 7 long green candles. So this is pretty consistent with after a long week like that. So I would expect, as we've been consolidating these last 2 candles, we can mark this out and expect a range probably in this area. We'll jump on a smaller time frame to see how that pinpoints, and we can extend this out a little bit here, and we'll see how that interacts over here. So this is pretty key. We pulled back into this 103,000. So if we go to the daily looks actually pretty clean. This is a nice hammer candle. Now, I actually like this for a long. If you're not already in, we could get in at this point, these retests here. This would be a pretty key area to get into, and then you could just put your stop below this level and target these highs here. So we got that for Bitcoin. This is pretty clean. I expect, we'll probably have maybe tap down here. But overall, everything looks pretty good. And as you can see, this is our mid level. And you see how these daily candles were holding that as support. And we broke that. So now this is going to be our key to flip and push back into highs. And you can see back here, it even clips these areas. So that's a pretty key range we're in right now that we just formed. If we were to break out of this, this would be our next key area here at the 382. If we were to break this 236. So let's jump on to Ethereum, and we're going to go to the weekly. So Ethereum on the weekly, what I've been looking at as well, we can take off the 200 here and just focus on this 50 EMA. It's pretty much the same thing. You have, support here, then it was resistance, then it was resistance again here once it broke, and now we're fighting that again. So what we really want to see is, we want to see this reclaim as support. Until then, this is resistance. So I would expect maybe down into something of this, and then a bounce back up, and then reclaim would be ideal, and that would be healthy. So this is the key level I'm looking at. ETH, just on a weekly perspective, not much else than that for right now. Now Solana, a very similar thing. We have this here has been support along this 50 EMA on the weekly, and here it was resistance. And just kind of look here as well. And then I would like to see, there's a possibility we come down to this level here at about 134. So it is possible we come down here, but there's also a possibility this just holds and we pop back up and we run into this consolidation here before continuing higher. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for Solana. We can jump on a daily and see what we got here. Yeah, we're kind of losing the daily 50. It's not the greatest. We did have a nice candle here. That's a nice close. And we have this daily support here. So as long as this daily support holds, which is also pretty much in line with this technically broken close below there. So I wouldn't want to see us close below this daily level here, these bodies here. So that's pretty much what I'm looking at for Solana. This is a pretty good setup as well. We could get something like that, or wait for that to break and then you can enter a short here and target some lower levels. So that's pretty much what I'm looking at for Solana. And then we could jump over to XRP, our fourth one that's pretty much that we're going over. A couple other ones I do like is Sui and Virtual, but we're not going to go over those today. So for XRP, we have this downtrend and we're actually on the daily chart. So let's take a look at the weekly real quick. And let's just move this. So the weekly is, yeah, it's just been consolidating here. So here, let's go back to the daily. All right, so on the daily, you can see we broke out, retested, everything was looking good here. And we failed to continue pushing higher after this push up. We failed and pushed back down. We've been consolidating along this trend line here. So we also have this 50 EMA. It's not the cleanest like on Ethereum and Bitcoin, but it is extremely clean on those. So for now, we are going to remove that and let's see what our 200 is doing. So our 200 is more clean on this daily. So we have a bigger pattern here with this bottom level. So it is possible we take this and come back in here, and we could also even take these lows, but I feel like that's not likely. But anything is possible. And the key thing would be to look for the break and retest of this level here. If we can flip and retest this, then I would be more confident in this pushing up, retesting these highs, and then once we clear that, we could, you know, start to target these highs here as we go up. And if you want big frame targets, we go like that. And actually, this gives us some interesting stuff here. So we could do something like this, but we also could do something of the lines of just tapping this $2 again and working our way up. So that's pretty much what I'm looking for. If you want more content like this, like, subscribe, and then put your if you're looking for any other charts, drop those in the comments and I will drop videos on them and go over them in the future. So it's just a weekly recap. We'll be doing more stuff in the coming weeks.